Happy Tuesday, happy new comic day. This is our preview show where we're going to talk about the new stuff that's come out this week. And if you want anything that you see here, just let us know. You can comment or send us a message, give us a call, you know, all that stuff.
Yell loudly.
Yeah, yell loudly. I'm sure I can hear you. All the way in California.
Yeah, every week there's a lot of cool new books out, and we are fortunate enough to be the first people to get to read them. And so we put the show together weekly, every single Tuesday. We take a break from bagging and boarding comics since 9:30 in the morning, and we read some of them, and we'll tell you about them now. And we also sell things through the show too, so feel free to let us know what you want.
All right, who gets to go first? What is the most highly anticipated book of the week?
I'd say probably that Spawn you have.
Ah, okay.
Ooh.
So the Spawn I have. All right. So that is not it. So yeah, Spawn 311 is out today. It's a big issue for a lot of reasons. It is a new jump on point. Even though it's issue 311, it is a new story arc. So we have some people in our pull list who have just been getting Spawn for, for several years now, but a lot of people, more than ever, have jumped on board because Todd McFarlane has done such a good job of, creating this character, sustaining it for so long. And this is also a big issue because, as you see here, he did the Chadwick Boseman homage cover. Y'all want to say a little bit about that? Because he made a really good, statement when he first released this, or when he announced he was going to release it.
He basically just said that there aren't a lot of African American superheroes, and Al Simmons, of course, being one of them. And he thought that Chadwick Boseman did such a good job playing Black Panther in the movies that he wanted his character of Al Simmons to pay homage to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. See, I knew you would remember it best.
Yeah, it was a very interesting and take on it I didn't see coming, but I think it's, I think it's heartfelt and well done. I think Todd McFarlane, he's been putting a lot more into Spawn lately too.
Yeah,
it's not just people are hopping back on. It's almost like,
Yeah.
I guess as he got close to 300 and he saw, I'm going to break the world record.
Yeah.
He really started pouring.
300 was really big.
Reinvigorated.
And a great jump on point for a lot of people. Bring back some of the old favorite characters. If you read Spawn back in the 90s, that you remember Cygor and Overt's Kill. All of those are back. It's a really fun book now, and this cover is awesome, especially if you notice, which I didn't notice at first, his belt buckle is the Black Panther logo, and it's very integrated into the cover.
Yeah.
So, Todd McFarlane also did something awesome, and he just hooked us up a little bit for so many that we ordered. We got just a few of these black and white issues as well, so we do have some of these available if you guys want or need. And if you watch our Friday show, I think Chuck Crawley was our winner of this. You won the B cover and the black and white as well. So we do still have some of these available if you guys want. We have some of the A, the B, the everything left. So if you need anything, just let us know and we will hook you up. The regular B cover is just $2.99. It's another great thing about Todd McFarlane Spawn. It's one of the cheapest comics you can buy right now. So okay.
We've rarely gotten more pre-orders for an issue
I
than when
agree.
they revealed the Chadwick Boseman
Got calls from
cover.
all over. People who've never even been in the store or anything.
Yeah, I think this one's going to heat up even more as the news kind of picks it up. So
all right, well that's my first one. Y'all can go.
Well, I will talk about what is maybe one of the next biggest books of the week. Jason and I both got to read Batman 3 Jokers #3, and that is the last issue in this micro series, I guess you'd call it. So what are your thoughts on...
I have two spoiler-free things to say. There are two major revelations, at least, that happen in the end. That both involve Batman or things that he knows. And I'm surprised people aren't more up in arms, in a good way, and a, oh my god way, because a few, review sites have reviewed this, and they've been like, oh, this is neat, these revelations, but I wonder if they'll ever get back to them. Some revelations, if they're canon, and this is at least seems like it
Yeah.
is. It's sort of like, why would that be left there forever?
Right.
This is adding to the mythos of a major player in the DC universe. So I think that this is going to be one that people care more about down the road. Where
Once
right
people
away,
realize what's happened and what it means in the long term, we talk about sometimes books. You know, Batman has fought Joker and put him in jail and broken out of jail so many times, everything. But I feel like this 3-issue series has been a lot of character development, where we're kind of seeing the next stage of what Batman and Joker's relationship as hero and villain is. Like, you don't come back, if this isn't canon, you don't come back from what is kind of revealed in this.
Yeah, and you do learn why there are 3 Jokers. I'm not going to reveal if you learn how it all started or like who started it all, but there's some definitely big news. And overall, I just thought it was a really solid read. I think people's sights are really high on this one. I think they're like, I'm going to read it, and by the end, I will know everything about the Joker from square one. You know, I don't think that would be satisfying, first off.
Yeah.
And it's never going to be that, but you do learn some pivotal things.
Yeah. So overall, if you're a Batman fan, if you're a Joker fan, it's a must-read.
And if you like the Bat family, so much happens with Red Hood and Batgirl, too.
Yeah,
so.
Very much so. They have some very key scenes, not even just Batgirl and Batman and Red Hood and Batman, but Batgirl and Red Hood.
Yes,
there's a story there, too, that is very important. Surprisingly, in this issue, kind of the road they go down with it.
Well, let's take a look at all those variants.
What? We got a lot of variants. Yes.
And we also have plenty of issue number 1, second print still available. Issue number 2, all the covers.
The Joker Shark.
Yep. The Joker Shark issue, and of course issue number 3, all the premium covers. You can get them here.
Yeah. So we have the B cover that is Red Hood. Then we have the kind of acid splashed in his face Joker, I think mostly from Scott Snyder's run, kind of the end of his New 52 run. We have...
Yeah, that was the criminal, and here's the comedian.
The failed comedian.
It's clown, criminal, and comedian. Those are the 3 Jokers. And they are distinctly different. They don't all agree, that's for sure.
And then we have the one from The Killing Joke with the hat and the camera. Really disturbing one when you know that story.
And of course, with your issue, you have the newest Joker card. And these are actually on sale today if you're local. You can come by and get them. We're open till 7. And you can get the final issue today. We also have some of, I forgot to bring them over here, but the 1 in 25 covers, which you can't see on my phone. It is the purple and pink cover. I love that cover. I think it's my favorite of the 1 in 25s. So we do still have some of that for just $20.
All right, from Marvel, here is X of Swords Stasis. This is part 11 of the, 20-issue? 22 issue Goliath run of X of Swords. This was maybe my favorite thing from it so far. It's really cool. So whether you're reading X of Swords or not, I got a few things to tell you that I think you'll want to hear, or at least I think they're cool. This sets up our players finally. Okay, you have... Araco, who are the villains, and they are led by the Summoner, the High Summoner, that character everybody's been trying to grab his first appearance. Well, it has this page, it finally shows you all their swords. They're all, I mean, you could tell they had fun designing these swords. They look awesome. Each sword has a mutant power along with it. Well, basically, they're going up against 10 chosen people from the Kingdom of Avalon. They're not really, they're working for them. And this is the X-Men, along with Apocalypse. This character, Saturnine, who's very powerful, is holding this tournament where they have to battle each other to the death. And so the X characters also have their swords, and you get to see and read about their swords as well. So this has been written like a real epic. This is written like a 3-hour, slow it down to feel it all, Braveheart style movie. And this is where it's like the stage is set. I see why they called it stasis. It's sort of everybody is in a holding pattern. The battle's about to begin. So honestly, it's a good jumping point. I missed a couple of issues. And I was like, I hope I haven't missed too much. But no, this was a very cool issue. I enjoyed it a lot. There's a lot of revelations going on about Apocalypse. A lot to do with his past and his wife and why he is the way he is. Because as much as he's always cast as a villain, he wants to see mutants get better. He's never lied about that. He really thinks mutants are better, and he wants to help them. So he's not all bad, although he is mostly bad.
He goes about it pretty badly.
We have a few variants for this. This is the Del Mundo. Wolverine sharpening his claws on his sword. Wolverine was told he can't use the sword quite yet for certain reasons, and he's like, I don't need all these rules to use a sword. And I think it's particularly funny from him considering all his Japanese background. This is the Ramos with all the cards. One cool part is they're each given a card that shows what they represent in this battle, and some of them are delighted by what they represent. Some are angered, and some it's fun. It's fun. Let's just say Cable, he wasn't too happy with what they said about him. That is the design variant.
Yeah, the Laraz.
And lastly, we only have one of these. For $30, we have the 1 in 50 Sayas variant.
So there really cool.
Yeah, this is a fun read. It's a long read, but it's a fun read.
Okay, well I guess I'm next for going in this
pattern.
I read Department of Truth. This was my big one that I got to actually spend some time with today. This is Department of Truth #2, and this is of course written by James Tynion of Batman, and what else is he writing right now?
Wind.
We only find when
they're dead. Find when they're dead.
He's writing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
No, that's somebody else.
No, yeah.
Ali Ewing.
Something's
anyway.
Killing the Children. That's the one I was trying to think of.
The
a lot. Basically anything that's amazing right now, he's writing. Including this. I really liked issue #2. If you read the first one, which we still have plenty of copies of, we really believed in this title. It goes more into... It fully explains the situation. Okay, should I spoil #1? Because it's been long enough.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been long enough. Since
Spoil.
issue 1, I'm going to spoil the premise. The premise is that all conspiracy theories are true if enough people believe them. So the more people believe in something, the more people believe that aliens, landed in Roswell, or that Bigfoot exists. The Earth is flat. The more people that believe a certain thing, the more it is true. And so it really delves more into that. It goes more into our main character and how it's personal to him, what conspiracy theories challenged him as a kid, and there's a lot of stuff about satanic panic, and it's really well written. I feel like I'm getting to read something that's great, and it's coming out now. I'm not gonna compare it to Sandman or something like that, but it's, you can tell a lot of care is put into it, and it's a really good story. So I highly recommend it. If any of that sounds like it might interest you, like I said, we have plenty of #1 left. #2 is awesome. Here's the cover.
Do you find out any more about that character?
A little bit.
Okay, because that was a weird part in #1.
And then this is the 1 in 10 variant for $10. And all the covers, I will say, they actually do reveal something that's happening in the story.
That is rare.
And lastly, this is the 1 in 50 for just $30. So seriously, a huge seal of approval on Department of Truth #2.
Gets Megan's seal of approval.
That's what the seal sounds like.
Oh. So, the thing I got to also read pretty in depth was Dark Knight's Death Metal: Rise of the New God. So this was Death Metal has a lot of tie-ins. There's no surprise there. It's got a lot of one-shots. It's got a lot of it hasn't had too many miniseries. But we've gotten the Robin King, Speed Metal, all of those. I feel like this one matters more than all of them. And I'm not just trying to sell it to you, even though I am, because it's really good. Things are revealed in this issue that are pretty groundbreaking about the DC universe. If you know that, the Batman Who Laughs is now the Darkest Knight, and he's going up against Perpetua, who is this kind of agent of crisis and destruction. So pretty much through the background of this whole issue, they are fighting in space, like hitting each other in the head with planets.
Yeah.
And like one time, like the Darkest Knight has like a sun, like he's doing like a Dragon Ball Z Kamehameha thing. It's just so crazy. But the main thing in this is there is a new character that, without spoiling it too much, I feel like you really need to read this, is observing this. Basically what he says, this is the end of the multiverse, and it's my job to kind of write it all down so I can take this movie into the next whatever there's going to be. And like a lot of people, he realizes that maybe this multiverse is more important than some of the ones that have come before. So it's a new character. It is kind of building an even bigger universe, an even bigger multiverse, a multiverse of multiverses, which sounds goofy, but it's really cool how it's explained.
The exponential verse.
Yes, the multiverse squared. And then there is there's some big stuff in it. Also, there is a backup story written by Brian Hill, I believe, about the Green Lanterns and what they are doing during the death metal crisis and what their job is in it, and mostly about Jon Stewart and what he sees as like his kind of last hurrah. So overall, I think this issue is probably the most important tie-in that we've got to the death metal series, and I believe really sets the stage for what we will be seeing in January and February and beyond into next year. They kind of allude to this is giving you a hint of what's coming next.
Interesting. All right, you heard it here.
Major new cosmic player in the DC universe. Yes. So I have something to confess. I have not read Last Ronin because everybody was shorted.
Yep.
All stores were shorted. So all of our copies had to go to pull box customers. I gave mine up. All I have left is 2 1-in-10 variants for $30 each.
It's the Eastman variant too, isn't it?
So this is a good time to plug our Friday show because we featured Last Ronin heavily on that show, and if you pre-ordered it, you got your copy. It's waiting for you now. But if you don't watch our Friday show, go ahead, like our page, set your timer at 5:30 p.m. every Friday. We preview the hot stuff that's coming up, and yeah.
We also posted to YouTube. You can watch it later on Facebook, YouTube, but we highlighted this book, and we said it's going to be big, and the people who asked for it, they're getting it, and the people who didn't, we're sorry, it's already gone. You know, we ordered a lot more, but they didn't send all that we ordered.
We're going to have to wait for the second printing of #1.
Yeah, the second printing of #1. I will say this is the easiest spoiler-free review I've ever done because I literally can't spoil it because there weren't enough for me to read, and you know I'm not going to thumb through the 1-in-10 that we're selling for $30.
I will say, special alert: isn't the second printing on OC this week, or was it on last week?
It was. We've already placed our order for the second.
Yep.
Well, never mind. But watch that Friday show.
Yep.
And then you can be ahead. And you can open order anything that we show off there.
It sounds like Michael wants one of them. So, Michael, see, this is the second one. That's for you. I'm just going to leave this one here in case somebody else wants it.
Yeah, it looks like we got another one already from Leroy. So, both of those.
That's all.
To be claimed. That's all, folks. Unless you pre-ordered it. Okay.
And real quick, hi, Corwin. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're all very excited for you. Okay. So, up next, I have the new Alex Ross Timeless variants. Only 3 out this week. We have the Shang-Chi variant, and this is for Shang-Chi #2.
I guess I'll go ahead and move this since it's not available anymore.
We have Alex Ross's Medusa variant for Fantastic Four Antithesis #3.
Ooh, that hair.
The hair is awesome. And then lastly, This is for Strange Academy number 4, The Scarlet Witch. So all beautiful Alex Ross timeless covers. Only 3 out this week. There's only a couple more weeks of these left. So if you want any of them, let me know.
I'm pretty sure next week is the last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Feels like we just started talking about those, and now it's...
They've been extremely popular.
Well, next up... Is it your turn?
It
is my turn!
Yes, it is.
Because now we're doing things the opposite way.
Yep.
So, I got a chance to briefly read. I didn't get to read it as in-depth as I wanted to. Also, I subscribed to it, so I'm going to read it also on my own time. This is Giga from Vault Comics. So this was really cool. I definitely was interested from the second I saw it when we were looking at stuff to talk about back when we were doing the initial orders for it. Vault's been doing some really interesting things, a lot of really cool creator-owned things, and anytime there are giant robots involved, you've got my attention. So this is a kind of a post-apocalyptic world where there was basically big robot fights, like what you're all used to in the anime and everything. But this is a ways after that, and all the robots kind of decommission themselves, or we don't know why they've stopped moving, but their bodies are just around, and humanity has kind of moved into them, but also have set up a religion around them. And it begins with kind of a school group going through one of the Gigas, or whatever you want to call them, and kind of reciting this like scripture about them, and asking questions of the teacher, asking questions like, why do you think that they allow us into their bodies? And when the kids is like, maybe we're like the microorganisms in them that are meant to maintain them and all this stuff. So it's a very interesting thing about this religion that has grown up around giant robots that are kind of all moss covered and everything. But without spoiling it, stuff happens. There's a mystery set up, and you can be sure at some point you're going to see some of these things moving around.
That was my only question. Like, at least an eye light up,
yeah.
Or, finger twitch, or just
right,
something.
Yeah. And these things are huge, like, super cool. There's, like, all these, like, cave paintings, basically, but it's about these giant robots and the great wars they had. So really cool, especially if you're into, like, Gundam or maybe, like, Robotech, like, the kind of mecha genre of things. And it's got some cool variants too. I like that one. This is like my favorite one. Almost looks like a G.I. Joe cover. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that one's super cool. Then we've got this one that really shows off kind of how the cities have grown up around the giant robots. So the city down there in the bottom, and then kind of looming above them. And then we got some really, really cool incentive variants. So we have the David Mack. This one is the 1 in 15 for $20. Really cool. And then even it gets an upgrade. The 1 in 30 foil cover. So it's the same one before. You can kind of see through the foil the character there for only $30. It's just super, super cool. Shiny. Especially David Mack's art shown kind of this way with the foil. Just really, really looks cool. So that is my thoughts on Giga.
All right. So I gave Detective Comics 1029 a quick read. And the main takeaway is there is a brand new villain. That's right. First appearance. His name is the Mirror. You see him right on the cover there. He kind of wraps himself in this garment that is like a mirror. So if he puts your face to his face, you see yourself, which I think that's a pretty creepy and cool villain idea. Basically, the premise of this issue you can see right on the cover. He rallies people. He acts like he is a good guy, which, and he says, enough with the heroes with the masks. Let's get them to unmask. And I'm going to be this guy, I'm going to be this mirror to them, until we can force the heroes to finally unmask and quit messing up the city. It's pretty much an introductory issue. It starts with him and his group. It shows how he rallies people, and then a whole bunch of other things happen. He's not really on Batman's radar, or the Bat family's radar, and then towards the end, they start feeling the effects of what he's doing to the crowd and what people think of the Bat family. It comes with this awesome variant by Lee Bermejo. Check that one out.
That's the one where I think Don Knotts needs to pop out the window and make his guest appearance, like in the 60s.
He's done so many good ones, but this is one of the top ones in my opinion. I like that sort of that sideways. He's going up the side of the building. So just want everybody to know there is a first appearance of a new cool, I think, a villain with a pretty cool premise.
Yeah, if this was the 90s, it would be a cover with a mirror on it.
Yeah, you see yourself.
You see yourself.
They should have done that. We don't need it to be the 90s for something that awesome.
Okay, now I think we're going to go through some things pretty quickly, just some new stuff that's come out. So here we go. This is Crow Leaf, and these are second printings of these issues, and they are Peach Momoko covers. Yep. That's why we're showing them off here, because these have already come out. So here is issue number 1, and do we know how long the series is going?
It may only be
I think
3.
it was just the 3. I think this is the whole thing.
So too. Just the 3 issues here. They're all here. Peach Momoko covers, issue number 2, and issue number 3. And these are just $3.99 each. Perfect time to read these. So
spooky month.
Here they are.
While supplies last.
Yes. So, what else came out is, we don't got the Black Widow movie for a little while. But
lots of comics.
Yes, lots of comics. This is Black Widow, Widow's Sting, number 1. And I believe it is only a one-shot. I checked the end, and it says the end. But just a cool kind of look at Black Widow. There's a really cool villain that I haven't seen in a little while. Shows up in it. Really cool. And this really nice variant.
What you got, Jason?
So, Autumnal sold out immediately. So this is the number 1 second print. Also, they did this very awesome number 1 second print foil variant. That's why it's hard to see. It is just metallic.
Yeah.
Picks up light like crazy. This one is $9.99 because it costs so much to produce. And they got it ready in time for Autumnal number 2. So this is a creepy horror book, obviously set in the autumn, where what if the trees and the leaves and all that stuff that looks nice, unless you're watching the beginning of The Shining when they're driving up to the Overlook, what if it all attacks you?
Or Evil Dead.
Yeah, Evil Dead. And here is the variant, one of our protagonists in trouble. You better find a break.
That's the ultimate thing that will take them down.
No, it's really cool. The art of it is awesome. I mean, that's why the number 1 just sold out like that and was going for money on the aftermarket.
Before day 1. All right, next up we have Strange Academy number 4 is new this week. Here is your A cover. And here is the character spotlight cover. And I already showed you before, but Scarlet Witch is the other variant for this one. So there's Strange Academy.
That's been a great read, and people online have been like rallying, like, let's make that a show. Let's make that a show.
I can totally see it as
that.
So this also came out, which we don't have a ton of copies of, but I thought it was important. This is Red Hood Outlaw number 50. It's funny how when they hit these like landmark issues, they changed the number in the corner to like, this is a red 50 color, on it. Yeah. So, Red Hood and the Outlaws, as it was originally known, has been through a lot of incarnations, being Red Hood and the Outlaws, then Red Hood Outlaw. Pretty soon, it's changing its name to Red Hood, just straight up. And this kind of wraps up Scott Lobdell's big run that started with the new 52 and has gone until now. But what I thought was interesting in it is Joker's daughter is kind of a major player in this issue. You see her without the face on. And we kind of get an idea of where she's going to be going forward. So it's an exercised issue. It's $5.99, but thought it was really cool. The art's really good. Maybe you want to check it out.
Okay, so the last one I have to go over is a new one from Aftershock called Sympathy for No Devils. So I have not had a chance to read this really. So all you get really is judge it by the cover. Judge this book by its cover. You have permission. But Aftershock is now a bigger company than before. They have gone into just sort of multimedia. They're going to be doing TV shows, movie deals, all that. There've been articles. They're hiring all kinds of people. So pretty much all their number ones have been getting snatched up. We wanted to make sure to mention that, to make sure everyone has a chance to know that this has come out this week.
And then, last thing up for me is Draken New Dawn, number 3 of 3. This is the foil variant. So, if you like collecting the foil variants, this is the very last issue of that series, and we still have a couple.
All right, awesome. So that's a lot of stuff we just went over there.
Yeah.
And there's even more if you drop by the shop. That's just sort of the hottest, newest, the stuff we think everyone would want to ask us about.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you need anything, please contact us. We'll be happy to help you. And we hope to see you in store today for the last hour that we are open, or to hear from you online. Have a great weekend. Happy Halloween, and watch our Friday show.
It's going to be a good one. Watch it.
Yes. In fact, you can track it. You can watch our Friday show. Go back 3 weeks, and you'll see we've talked about all these books and gone, you should order this. You should order this.
Yep.
And so if we've sold out of any, last Rodin, it's because maybe, people didn't pay attention. But thank you very much, and have a good rest of your day.